Hello, friends. In the high stake world of corporate leadership, we often measure ROI in numbers. But what if the ultimate competitive advantage is actually in the inner peace? In this video, we explore the profound leadership lessons hidden in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 65. As a CEO or a business leader, your greatest tool is your intelligence. However, stress, executive sorrow, and the constant market volatility can cloud your judgment. How you can avoid this? Let us explore this further. Let's be honest about what it feels like to sit in the CEO's chair today. We live in an era of the permanent crisis. Volatility is a new normal. You wake up to the global market shifts, you spend your day putting your operational fires, and you go to sleep worrying about disruption from competitors you haven't even identified yet. The traditional playbook says that to survive this, you need to be faster, aggressive, and constantly on, basically switched on. You need more data, more hustle, more caffeine. But what if the playbook is wrong? What if the single greatest threat to your company's future isn't the inflation, AI, or the supply chain? What if the greatest threat is your own agitated mind? And conversely, what if your greatest untapped strategic asset, the one with highest hidden ROI, is the inner peace? It sounds soft. It sounds like something for a wellness retreat, not a boardroom. But today I'm going to prove to you that inner peace is the ultimate competitive advantage. And I'm going to do this by using 7,000-year-old piece of executive coaching, the Bhagavad Gita. If you aren't familiar with it, the Bhagavad Gita isn't just a spiritual text. It's a crisis management manual. It takes place on a battlefield moments before the massive war. The protagonist is Arjun, a great leader and a warrior, and he's having a complete mental breakdown. He's paralyzed by anxiety, doubt, and the immense weight of his responsibility. He is the archetype of the burnt out executive facing a merger that could destroy everything. His mentor, Krishna, steps in to give him the ultimate pep talk. In chapter 2, Krishna is teaching Arjun about the nature of the mind and intelligence. He drops a truth bomb in the verse 65, and that is so profound it should be attached to the modern business environment and etched onto the desk of every Fortune 500 leader. It's translated into business terms as, and the quote starts, by divine grace comes the peace in which all sorrow ends. And it is the intelligence of such a person of tranquil mind that soon becomes firmly established. Quote close. There are two crucial concepts here that we need to unpack for the modern C-suite. First, the end of sorrow. When Gita speaks of sorrow in a leadership context, it's not just talking about the sadness, it's talking about the mental friction. It's the anxiety about Q3 earnings. It's the fear of making the wrong bet on a new product technology. It's the frustration with underperforming teams. It is the imposter syndrome that whispers that you aren't good enough. This mental friction is expensive. It consumes your cognitive bandwidth. When your mind is filled with this sorrow, you are operating at a deficit. You are reactive, defensive, and short sighted. The verse says that the state of prasad, which in English can be grace, or deep tranquility, this with this the friction ends. Now look at the second part of the verse, and this is the payoff. And the quote starts: the fixed intelligence, which is the buddhi, your steadfast intelligence, buddhi in Sanskrit. The words promise that when the mind is tranquil, the intelligence becomes firmly established or fixed. In Sanskrit, the word is buddhi. Buddhi is just not raw IQ, it is the faculty of discrimination. It is your ability to discern right from wrong, sustainable from unsustainable, signal from noise. It is a strategic clarity. The Gita is teaching us hard scientific truth about human performance. An agitated mind cannot hold a steady intelligence. Think about it. When you are stressed, your brain enters fight or flight mode. Your vision narrows. You lose access to higher level of strategic thinking. You start firefighting instead of architecting the future. As a stressed CEO, it's like captain trying to navigate a ship during a hurricane while looking through a kaleidoscope. But a peaceful CEO, they are navigating the same hurricane with a definition GPS system. So let's talk about ROI. How does this state of fixed intelligence translate to the bottom line? Because if the piece doesn't improve performance, it is just a hobby. So first factor is high stake decision making. And defining the characteristic of a CEO is the obligation to make hard calls with incomplete information. When your intelligence is fixed through peace, you detach from the emotional outcome. You stop making decisions based on fear of a loss or desperate greed for a quick win. You can look at the chaotic market and see the pattern that other misses because their own anxiety is blinding them. Peace buys you clarity, and in business, clarity is currency. Second factor is the resilience and longevity. Executive burnout is a massive liability. We lose brilliant leaders because they simply cannot sustain and the mental RPMs required for the job. If you rally on adrenaline and stress to fuel your leadership, you will eventually crash. Peace is sustainable fuel source. A leader operating from tranquility can endure market volatility for decades without cracking. That consistency building generational companies. Third factor is the organizational culture. Anxiety trickles down. If the CEO is frantic, the C-suite is nervous. If the C-suite is nervous, then the CEO may be terrified and the staff is paralyzed. A peaceful leader acts as stabilizing keel of the organizational ship. Your calmness gives you and your team permission to think clearly rather than just react frantically. The ROI on a focused, calm workforce is immeasurable. Bhagavad Gita isn't suggesting you to move to a cave and meditate for 12 hours a day. You have shareholders to report to. But verse 65 teaches us that we must prioritize the input that create the tranquility if we want the output of the strategic intelligence to be really felt. You must fiercely protect your mental environment. It means creating non-negotiable pockets of stillness in your day. Even if it is just 15 minutes in the morning before you check your emails to basically center your buddhi, your intelligence. It means learning to observe the chaos of the market without absorbing it into your nervous system. It means recognizing that your stress is not a badge of honor. It is a signal that your strategic intelligence is being compromised. In closing, let's rethink what it means to be a powerful leader. For too long, we have glorified the exhausted, frantic executives. We have mistakenly, taken them as leader because of their busyness for effectiveness, of course. The Bhagavad Gita, thousands of years ago, recognized that the true power, the power to command armies or corporations, does not come from chaos, it comes from stillness. God's grace can end all sorrow, and the resulting peace fixes the intelligence. That's what it says. So, if you want a sharper strategy, cultivate a quieter mind. Inner peace is not a luxury for modern CEO, it is the most essential professional requirement, and it is the secret of the positive ROI. If you have any comments, do let me know in the comment section below, and I will catch you again in the next one.